Just in the kitchen chefing. Instead of Chef Boyardee, Chef Boyardee. That's my Alfredo sauce I made from scratch. Very cool. Made from scratch, Italiano. And these are the shrimps that's going to go into the Alfredo sauce. And if you want to see the pasta is... Here's the pasta. So I'm definitely going to refuel shrimp Alfredo. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Be sure to check out some of my latest videos. One is Venom. The other is Fred Ventura, the Pet Detective. And you girls and guys be safe out there. And I will catch you guys later. Peace. Hey, what's up, comic book peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. And I just finished up the video Venom. And I'm rolling into my next video. Which would probably be entitled... I don't know what the title is, so we're going to keep it a secret for now, but really enjoyed the Venom video. And let's go ahead and get a word from our sponsor. You ready? Okay, let's go. And this episode of Direct Edition is brought to you by everybody's favorite, my fake Darth Maul from China. Alright, so I got the boys with me, so it's a little loud in the background. But you know how we do on this channel. Let's get into some comics. Or, let's get into some action figures. Hey, what's up, comic book peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. And today I'm pretty excited, man, because I got another chance to add another action figure back to my collection that I've already had. I think we already got a word in from a sponsor, but let's go ahead and look at your backdrop for today. So that's Deadpool 2099. That is Deadpool's daughter. Just found that out. Let's turn off the flash. Okay. Now that is Clayton Crane's Deadpool, number 2. Number 3. Very cool Secret Wars cover. He's actually fighting a Super Squirrel. That is the Deadpool number 16. They actually did some X-Men covers like this. This is considered to be like the card cover, which is very cool. Flip it upside down and you have Cyclops. One of my favorite, this is Deadpool back in black. This explains how Deadpool had the Spider-Man symbiote before Spider-Man did. Very cool. Definitely love that cover. Then you have Deadpool and Cable split second, which is a cover swipe from Back to the Future. And a book that I was surprised to find for cheap. This is Deadpool Secret Wars. I need to get all of them. So very cool, man. Definitely love this backdrop. And yeah. So this is, you know, definitely how you can see it's a direct cover swipe from Back to the Future too. Very cool. All right. So I promised you that I got an action figure to add back into my collection. Let's go ahead and see what it is. And here it is. Here's a cool action figure that I was able to add back to my collection. This is the Deadpool Marvel Select. I was walking in 2nd and Charles, and when I saw it, I said, you know what? Since I can't find any comic books and it's all dry, let me go ahead and pick this up again. And you know what? I actually started to fall all the way back in love with the figure once I got it home. So let's look at a detailed look at the front. Because you know I don't take mine out. And I keep them mint on card. So he comes with his size, a gun, the katana, nice little Deadpool symbol. Very cool. You know, you see a little bit of comic book on the inside. He actually comes with two katanas. You know, it's something about losing something or not having it and then getting it back that makes you appreciate it more. And I really appreciate this action figure. This Marvel Select is very heavy. I love the Selects because they're very heavy. They're almost like statues. So here's a cool look at the front of the figure. Here's a cool look at the side of the figure. Very cool. I actually have this comic book with this drawing on it, if you allow my sexy fingers to interrupt your video. Actually, I have that comic book. It's actually in a paperback form. And very cool. So here's a cool look at the side of the figure. And here's a very cool look at the back of the figure. Now, for this figure, I figured that they would re-release it because of the Deadpool movie. But this one actually has a date stamp of, let me look at the date, 2016. So it's probably a re-release, but it's not a re-release as of recent. And this is the one that I'm really looking for, the Deadpool Unmasked. You know, the funny thing is when you actually Amazon them, they're out of the price range that you would want to pay. They're about like $200 or something like that. But when you find them in the wild, sometimes they're up to like maybe $30. So I can't wait to find the Unmasked Deadpool or the long-haired Gambit in the wild. I'll definitely pick it up. So here's a cool look at the back of the figure. He comes with like this brick wall diorama. And here's one more cool detailed look at the figure. Just awesome, man. Very glad to have this back in my collection. Very cool. All right. So you know how we do on this channel. Let's get into some comics. So in order to celebrate the action figure, I actually picked up, well, not picked up, I actually went in a dungeon and dug out the only couple of Deadpool books that I have, which are right in front of you. But this is a cool Deadpool number 46. It's called Cruel Summer. It's a very sought after cover. I didn't know at the time when I picked it up. Picked it up for cheap, but very cool. So this is Deadpool number 46. And we also have a cool Deadpool number 48, which reminds me a lot of Batman RIP when they buried Batman alive. But very, very cool cover, man. Cruel Summer. Anytime I can find an old school Deadpool book, I'll pick it up. But man, these are like totally out of the price range, out of the market. You can't really find Deadpool. I would say he's like Harley Quinn, but I can still find Harley Quinns. I can't find any Deadpools that's in my price range that's still out in the wild. So very popular character, very cool character. And yeah, there you have it. And since I'm digging up stuff out of the dungeon, I might as well show you this Lady Death. This is like a free book or something like that. I actually remember picking it up way back in the days. And, you know, I just need more Lady Death comic books. But she's kind of like very sultry and sexy like Vampirella. And those type of comic books I do like, but I kind of don't like because it's kind of, you know, I do love females, but it's kind of like it exploits females. But it's still all good. I still like strong female characters that show their sexiness. So this is a cool Lady Death cover. Definitely love it. Definitely think it's cool. All right, so let me show you a complete run that I was able to pick up again and again and again. So we have Deathmate. This is the September issue, the silver cover. I definitely love this cover. I remember seeing it in the Wizard magazines way back in the days. That's my boy Jim Lee who drew it. Very cool. So that's Deathmate. What did I say? September. That is a crossover between, is it Valiant? Yeah, and Image. So that's September. Deathmate October. Very cool cover. Very, very cool. Another October, which is the blue. So we have the silver, yellow, and blue. So another October. Deathmate November with the red cover, which is my favorite cover. I definitely love this cover. Totally awesome. You got Bloodshot and I forget his name from Youngblood. Dang, I forget his name. I'll remember his name later, but very cool, man. Yes, his name is Shaft. So very cool cover. So that's November. And I saved this one for last. Very cool September Deathmate Black. This is the first appearance of Gen 13. So very cool, man. I was able to pick these up again. I'm glad to have them in my collection. So I have doubles and triples. And there you have it. All right, let's keep moving. Is this Mark Silvestri? Yeah, that's my boy Silvestri. One of my favorite artists when I was growing up. So very cool. Very cool cover. So for you 90s kids, if you want to see a really cool cover, this is a cool cover to look at. This is Dark Guard #1. This probably be my second copy. You know, so I definitely love this copy. If you allow my sexy fingers to interrupt your video, just look at all that foilness, 90s goodness. And the funny thing was, Deathhead, I forget his history, but he was actually like introduced in like Transformers or something like that. Let me look up his history because it just slipped my mind, but he was actually like a character that was developed for some reason. Let me look it up. So yeah, the original Deathhead was actually introduced in the Transformers cartoons. I'm sorry, in the Transformers comic books. He's a UK character, Marvel UK, that actually bled over to the American comic books. So very cool, man. Definitely love this Dark Guard. Totally a character of the 90s, and I'll be glad when they actually bring the original Deathhead, because that's Deathhead 2. That's Death. Excuse me. That's what happens when you actually film with kids in the room. You might hear a little scream or whatever. Y'all used to that in my videos. But anyway, yeah, that's Deathhead 2, and like I said, I'll be glad when they bring the original Deathhead back, because he was a pretty cool character, and I definitely love to read stories about him. So there you have it. So since I was in the D section in Second and Charles, let's look at some cool Deathlocks that I was able to actually pick up. Excuse the boys in the background, but it's very cool Deathlocks that I was able to pick up. This is Deathlock #1. Being a child of the 90s, I'm always going to pick up a #1. Very cool character. I actually have the first appearance of the Black Deathlock. I forget his name, is like Collins or something like that, but this is Deathlock #1. And two very cool Deathlock #2s. And I didn't realize that his history with the X-Men went back all the way to like his first appearance, because I actually have the X-Force Deathlock Nation, which is very cool. And I also have a Wolverine Weapon X book where Deathlock actually is fighting Wolverine. So I just thought that they were trying to bleed the X-Men off on him, which they probably did, but he has a long history with the X-Men. So very cool. See, Samuel Trejo? I actually don't have any X-Men books in this run. I know you said I always have X-Men books in my runs, but Samuel Trejo is a very cool YouTube channel. He actually does a lot of manga hauls and a lot of comic book hauls, and he's not a mainstream dude. He's like an underground comic book dude. Also, MIB Studios. I definitely love my buddy's Amigo collection. So let's keep going. Also, I see YouTube Bluckers videos. And my boy, what is it, 17KG, Leonard Hutchins. You need to send me your damn address so I can get this stuff out to you, man. But let's keep going. Let's keep going in the video. I got lost a little bit. So that's Deathlock #2. And I threw this #5 out there just for my boy Simply Incredible Podcast. Big D. Definitely love your channel. So very cool. Deathlock Doombusters. It's weird. But anyway, that's number what? 5. Deathlock Deathlot number 6. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Rigor Mortis, who's always commenting. I might as well just give shout outs every time I show a comic book. So it's Deathlot number 6. Very cool. Deathlot versus the Punisher. Deathlot number 7. Shout out to my boy, Chris Norwood. Very cool channel. He's having some kind of like contest going on. Shout out to my boy, Oh, excuse me. I don't really curse on his channel, but sorry about that. But Doc, what's your channel's name? Don the Doctor, my analytical friend. But that's number 6 and number 7. Very cool. And my favorite Deathlot cover out of this run. This is Deathlot number 10. Of course, you got to have the Ghost Rider in there. You know what I'm saying? Right after the Punisher, you definitely have to have the Ghost Rider. So this is very cool. I guess Fred and Michael won't let me film. They're going to talk. And they just won't let me be great. But it's all good. That's how it is when you have your kids with you. But Deathlot number 10, very cool. And here's a very cool look at the run again. Number 1, number 2, number 6, number 7. Definitely love those Punisher covers. This number 2, I forgot to show you guys. This is 2 in a 4-part limited series. But you got 1, 2, 5, and 10. So very cool, man. Definitely glad to have these in my collection. Again. And so we're at the point of the video where you ask me, hey, Fred Hall, Direct Edition, what are you reading right now? And this is what I'm actually reading right now. This is Deadpool Team-Ups. Very cool Deadpool and Hercules cover. If you look on the bottom, you will see Wolverine under Deadpool, and you will actually see Thor under Hercules. So very cool cover, man. Definitely like this cover. And there you have it. And here's a very cool look at the back of the book. Deadpool and Ghost Rider. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Of course, Ghost Rider made his way into this video, 3 times? So there you have it. It says, evidently the voices in his head aren't enough to keep enough company for Deadpool. So very cool. So Deadpool is from Canada, so shout out to my boy Area 51 and also my boy Timothy, the Canadian comic book hunter. So very cool channels. I also like Seeking Near Mint Comics. That's my boy. And my favorite YouTube channel of all time is Tom Ryan. So very cool Deadpool team-ups. Let's get into your main events. And so your first main event is going to be this Death book from Neil Gaiman. I think this is my second copy. This is 3 of 3. I definitely have to get the rest of them. If you hear my boys screaming up, they're upstairs. They're wild. But this is a very cool book. Definitely love anything by Neil Gaiman. And that will actually be your first main event. So I only have 2. Sorry to cheap you out this video, but I only really have 2 main events. So that's your first main event. And your last main event is a cool Deadpool number 1 again from his limited series. This is my second copy. Definitely went 8 nuts and giggled like a dolphin when I saw it for only like $1.25. Definitely glad to have it back in my collection. And yeah, that's your second main event and your last main event. So let's get it going. And so once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Direct Edition. Remember, the channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. You girls and guys be safe out there. Words of wisdom. Focus on the ones that show you love. On the ones that don't show you love, hey, we're just going to forget about them and keep rolling. I will catch you girls and guys later. And you be safe out there. Peace. Be sure to check out my latest video. Tales from the Dungeon, where I take you behind the scenes and show you stuff that goes on downstairs in the dungeon. You girls and guys be safe out there. Peace.